In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use our Google Ads management checklist in order to effectively track the performance, not necessarily performance, but the changes and adjustments that are being made in an account in order to keep it consistent across the board. So that way, whenever you are managing an account or overseeing someone managing an account, you guys are on the same page as to what all needs to be accomplished, the basic metrics for the account, when it's doing well, when it's doing poorly, etc. So jumping right into it, we're going to go to the most recent week. Account name, obviously, this is just the name of the business. Here is just a quick blurb about the business as well. These never change. The tasks that you need to do every week also never change. We've got search term exclusions. That's just reviewing search terms to see for negative keywords, optimization score. I've talked about these basic checks and several other videos going through them in more detail. Bid adjustments, that's just looking for audience location type bid adjustments. Ad schedulers, looking at the schedule to see if there's any way we can narrow it down to save time or expand it if our scheduling is too narrow. Reviewing search keywords, just if we're doing a manual CPC, this is helpful to see if we need to raise top of page bids or anything like that. And comparing campaigns and ad groups to one another is always useful. And then these are some ancillary checks specific to this business that won't be on every Google Ads management checklist. Obviously, you'll need to be checking these twice a week, and so this spreadsheet should be being updated at least twice a week. Now we have the monthly budget. This is obviously the budget we're shooting for to spend on a regular basis. This is just broken down every 30 days, pretty straightforward. Target CPA, this is the goal for the account. This is basically how we determine if the ad account is doing well or if it needs maintenance. Or if it needs like a massive overhaul, as well as if we are not hitting that target CPA or we're not on track to hit that target CPA anytime soon. So if we are ever not hitting this, it's definitely worth reaching out to your account manager and letting them know, hey, we're off target. What can we do to improve it, etc. Over here are the notes from the person managing the account. In this case, that would be me. Occasionally, we'll have a second section over here. This section would be for me taking notes specifically that should never be changed. That should be pretty constant for the business, kind of giving overall rundown of what we're looking for in the account. If I've managed it in the past and I'm handing it off to a freelancer to help me out and help me manage, this will be kind of their essentially Bible when it comes to what needs to happen in the account. If there are any specifics around the account that need to be mentioned, they're mentioned in these notes right here. And there'll be a separate section where a freelancer can keep track of any of their notes specific to the business. They can kind of use it just as a note list, however they see fit, just basically taking down what they've seen in the account, any important things to note that aren't included in these two sections. So action items is obviously going to be a list of things that we'd like to take care of in this account, things that are worth trying to fix. And then the last section, the most important section, is going to be the test section. This is basically where we are tracking what type of A/B test or just tests in general that we're running in the account. We can also track experiments in this section as well. That way we kind of know what works in the account, what doesn't work. And the way you do it is these ones in blue are active. The ones in white, red, or green are inactive. That means they have finished or we have made a determination on their results. So just because we mark it as finished doesn't mean it stopped running. For example, we could test out, say, an A/B test, a search campaign without search partners. We test this. If it didn't work, we turn it off. We turn off search partners. However, if this is working, this basically shows when it started. So an active one right now is we're running a demand gen campaign, and it's been working in some of our other accounts. And so we started this on June 13th. And essentially, we like to wait at least 2 weeks to make a decision. Sometimes it can be up to 6 to 8 weeks if we just are not collecting enough data or we're not confident in the results. But once we make a determination that, hey, we have enough data to say this worked, this didn't, or we just never collected enough data, in that case, we would mark it as white, which just means it's something that we want to revisit at some point because we didn't get a clear idea as to whether it worked or not. So this should be updated pretty regularly, as long as you are making changes in the account. Any changes that would kind of cause Google to go into a learning phase again is something worth throwing in here so we can track how it is doing. And then also you can put other tests that you'd like to run in the future down here, and just leave the start date empty because obviously the test hasn't started if it's something we want to run in the future. So that's going to be a little bit separate than action items. Action items are just going to be, say we need to change some or say we need to add some image assets or something like that. That could be an example of an action item. This is more changes that we were making to current accounts that could affect the overall performance of the campaign. So that's a quick rundown of how to use the checklist. Definitely expect to go through and check off all of these basic checks right here every single check. So if you're doing 2 checks a week, you should check all of those off. And then once a week, you should go through and look at some of these other sections and make sure those get checked off as well. And then obviously just be updating. Keep this as detailed as possible because it is going to be very helpful for determining, okay, what has been working in this account, what hasn't been working, what needs to be worked on, what are we trying to shoot for, all that kind of stuff. So hope this video helps, and I will see you in the next one.